when an agent sent me a property, like it looked very beautiful in the photos, and it was a complete 360 when I was there.
Oh gosh.
Like it needed a proper repair, maintenance, like
Yeah.
everything. It needed a proper renovation.
Wow. Just as well you were able to physically go and see it.
Yeah, and that was the main key reason which I'm suggesting the audience, like if you're willing to start remote, like that is perfect. But then when you're actually looking at the property, actually have a look at it in person, or if you know somebody there who can actually go there on your behalf, actually show you the property live through like a video call or recording a video, like actually doing it then and there, rather than okay, yeah, these are the photos, this is the deal, this is the contract, just sign it and we can do it.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Behind the BnB. I am thrilled to have Aash with me, join me on the show today. He is based in India and he is building a portfolio remotely in Bali to start with. So would you please welcome Aash? Aash, welcome.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I'm really thrilled to be on here.
I'm so glad.
And of course, as Stephanie mentioned, I'm Aarsh. My full name is Aarsh Mittal, and I am based in India at the moment. And I have one active unit in Bali at the moment, and I'm looking for a second one. And I'm handling both of them remotely at the moment, like even with the setup of the second one and managing the first one.
Yeah.
And like I've only been doing this for the past 6 months, and it has been an amazing experience. Like, of course, it
New
can
in
be
the game. You've only just gotten started and already you have two properties in Bali.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, also like because like it's only been 6 months, so it's also like testing the waters to see like where the units are at or how they're performing, how the seasonalities function, how the guest approach the
Yeah.
property, and how everything works. Because yes, there is also like a human connection. Like we are welcoming the guest, we are the hosts. Of course, the staff is there, but then we also have to be like a bit heavy on the technical side, like in terms of
Yeah.
marketing as well, in
Yeah.
terms of like how we are portraying ourselves in front of the audience, because that is the first thing they see rather than seeing the host or meeting the host or meeting the staff. They
That's
actually
right.
see the listing or anything online, basically, which of course I got a great insight through GPWN, which I'm very grateful of. Like
Oh,
analyzing the deals, sourcing the properties. Like I did it all myself. Like,
yeah.
and anybody who is wanting to start remote, I would at least suggest them to at least go there once in person. Because like of course, like I've tried this. I've tried to complete a deal remotely, but then I had a thought in the back of my head, like let's just go there and see and meet the person who you're signing the deal with,
Yeah.
because that
I
gives
mean, not a
me.
bad idea to travel to Bali in the first place as well, and
Yeah, definitely,
make it a
definitely.
business trip, a little bit of a holiday at the same time. But let's go back, because when did you actually? Oh, well, how did you come across James and the course and Airbnb in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I came across James's Instagram account firstly, and I think that was initially at the beginning of last year, and then I had a little bit of a thought, like just where should I start or should I start? Like there were just so many questions at that moment in time,
Of
and that was
course,
around January, February, I would say, last year, and
last year.
then I saw an opening uh, to see like okay, I can start this now, like because this like of course the course needs its own commitment and the business would need its own commitment. Would I be
Mm,
ready for that to like put the commitment all to the course learning and also actually running and managing the properties and everything?
yeah.
Because
So let's actually, Ash, talk about your background then, a little bit about what you've done before, or you're still, you're in business, an existing business yourself already. So can you share with people who are interested in getting to know you a little bit more? What is your background? Where have you come from?
yeah,
And yeah.
like of course I'm based in India at the moment, and also it's my home country. but
Mm.
also I've had experiences studying in college in America as well for a couple of years, and I
Mm-hmm.
studied performing arts. So performing arts, and also I also studied fitness.
Mm.
So that is my background, but also like my family has a business based in India, so I kinda I'm already aware of three businesses, but this is like the fourth one which I really wanted to get into to like
Mm.
see somehow like because this has always been intriguing to me. Like, of course, like you see like all the flashy things, but nobody talks about the problems you might face, or
Oh yeah.
of course the challenges you come across with
Yeah.
managing the properties or managing the
Mm-hmm.
guests.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the regular maintenance which it requires,
Mm. But
handling the
you've got a little bit.
landlords.
You've already got a bit of business background. So,
Yes.
we often encourage all our students to, visualize you setting this up as a business. And so it's
Yeah.
understanding, the groundwork, the foundations basically of
Yeah.
setting up a business in the first place and then running it like that from the outset. So can you share a little bit about the businesses your family have and your
Yeah.
involvement with that, just
Yeah.
to understand a little bit more about you?
Definitely. My family has a publishing business. We,
Hmm.
like, our family publishes books for the schools from grade 9 to 12th. And our main subject is English, which we publish, like the grammar books or the textbooks for the students in school. And
Hmm.
it's supplied all over the state which I'm currently in, which is Uttar Pradesh. And of course, like
Where
being
is that?
brought,
Just for like to understand location wise. So where in India
yeah,
is
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Like
So
most
Uttar
people know
Pradesh.
Mumbai. Yeah.
Definitely. Of course, everybody knows Mumbai.
Yes. So how far is it from
So,
there?
no, I mean, I'll actually give you a better reference because Mumbai is like towards the southwest or
Okay.
majorly towards the west
Yeah.
when you are looking at the map. But
Hmm.
then when you look at the capital, which is New Delhi, it's about
Yes.
3.5 hour drive, about 3 hours, I would say, like my
Okay.
hometown. And then
West, southwest, or no? You're talking about
southwest is
Mumbai. That's
Mumbai.
southwest. Yeah.
Southwest
And
is Mumbai, but like when you're seeing the map and you're seeing the capital, New Delhi, it's in the center
yeah.
towards the north, and then my city is about three hours drive away from Delhi,
Okay.
and then of course like it comes into another state like because Delhi is considered a state or a union territory on its own, and
Yeah.
then my city is into a state, and then we supply or publish the books for all over the state,
Just the
and
state
then
that you're in. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And also like of course being brought up in a business family, like my brain naturally works that way. Like even
Which is
even
great.
if I studied arts, people was always talking about show business, so I was always, even when
Mm.
I was doing performing arts or even when I was into fitness, I was always looking at from the business point of view. Like of course
Yeah.
like new businesses takes time to establish, so of
Hmm.
course you need to take a little bit or ready to take a little bit of a hit. Like
Mm.
you don't need to, but you have to
Hmm.
be ready if it comes, because
Yeah.
that's only the beginning. Because
Yeah.
personally, like again, going back to Bali and the first unit, I actually launched it during the low season, and I knew like these kind of challenges will come. And then, of course, that goes back to like GPW and already teaching me like, okay, if you're starting with the low season, then you might have to play around with the strategy. You might have
Mm.
to be able to cover the losses. You have to be kind of ready for that.
Mm.
So it was not a surprise for me. I was ready for that, and
Yeah,
I
you did your
prepared it in.
research. Yeah, you knew all that going in.
Yeah, yeah. I prepared, like, of course, like there had to be like a backup cash in hand for me. If even
Mm.
if like, for example, the rent or the paying to the staff or just the operational cost like electricity or anything basically,
Because the rent's
because
already paid up front, isn't it? This is a thing about
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Bali.
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Like that was the next point which I was coming to. Thank you so much. That the speciality about Bali, and also it's a good thing. Like the payment is all upfront, but
Yeah.
then it also depends on your relationship with the landlord. Like sometimes some people might be flexible. Some people will be like, no, if you're doing a 3 year deal, it's 3 year upfront or no deal. Or because the second deal, which I'm like still negotiating in terms of the price, I haven't finalized it yet. It on
Mm.
paper it's finalized, and
Mm-hmm.
financially it's not. Like I'm trying to negotiate if we can. do like a 1+1. Like I, okay, we sign a deal for 2 years, but then I pay 1 year upfront, and then at the end of the year I pay the second year upfront rather than paying 2 year upfront.
Yeah. So
So
you're
that
saying
can
if
be a
you
possibility.
agree, so I have a question for you. If you agree to take on the unit for 3 years, are you having to, are they wanting you to ideally pay 3 years up front, or are you now having an agreement that you want to trial it for the first year, and then obviously you're getting permission to sublet it, and they're
Yeah,
agreeing to that? But
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
but not always the case. It just
not
depends on
always
the
the case.
landlord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like if you ask me about the ratio, it's like 70/30. 70% people will ask you the payment upfront, even if you're
Mm.
signing a 3 year deal. Or
Hmm.
sometimes they'll be like, okay, do 2 year upfront, or and then 1 year maybe after 6 months. So
Yeah.
like essentially you have to be ready to part with your money before
Mm.
even the lease is like 50% potentially.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at a property again, I was looking at it for 3 years, but then the owner was like, we can do 1.5 year upfront,
Yeah.
and then 1 year after 3 months, and the rest of the payment after 6 months. So that was initially
Mm.
parting with my money within 6 months for 3 years.
Mm. And
So
then
that's what
okay, so the first property that you've got, where is that based again? In Bali?
it's an U-boot.
Ubud. Okay.
Yeah.
And you launched that. When did you launch that one again?
So I got it listed around January, I think, and then
Okay.
operations began in February.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you went over there, and
Yeah.
whilst you were there you found this unit, and then you set it all up whilst you were in Bali.
So it like initially, like when I joined the course, I think it was around July, August last year. So
Mm.
I initially, like, I was deciding where to start. Then of course Bali
Mm.
became the destination where I wanted to start. Then I
Mm.
started beginning my research and then contacting the people. So I had a list which I could visit, and
Mm.
then 2 months down the line, I took a decision of actually going there and actually viewing the properties. And
Yeah.
then, like at the moment, I still haven't signed the deal. Like while I'm there, I'm just looking around, making my decision, trying to figure out, like, should I wait for more properties to come in, or should I take a chance on one of them? Because I think I viewed
Mm.
around 50, but then I was
Mm.
like, there was some of the other issues with
50 while you were there.
almost. It was like at
Wow.
least two to three properties a day that I
Wow.
was planning to, and
Yeah.
that's where like my pre-work came in handy. Like started looking at the properties already 3 months before I visited the place, so I already had a list. Like I
Mm.
listed around 75 properties, but then some of the other reason, like I was like, like we don't even want to see this property, or the price is
Mm.
too high, or the location is not too good.
For
Okay.
those wondering, how did you find the properties? Because we talked
It
about this
was
already. How did you source them?
so it, again, like the real estate websites of
Mm.
Bali,
Hmm.
uh, but then a good source is also Facebook. But then
Mm.
saying it's Facebook, so you have to be aware of like what
Mm.
people are posting and what's actually there in person.
Yeah.
Because that it's only one situation. Like when an agent sent me a property, like it looked very beautiful in the
Mm.
photos,
Hmm.
and it was a complete 360 when I was there.
Oh gosh.
Like it needed a proper repair, maintenance, like
Yeah.
everything. It needed a proper renovation, which would have taken another
Mm.
6 months. And the
Wow.
agent
Just
was
as well
like,
you were able to physically go and see it.
yeah, and that was the main key reason which I'm suggesting the audience, like, if you're willing to start remote, like remote, do it remote. That is perfect. But then when you're actually looking at the property, actually have a look at in person, or if you know somebody there who can actually go there on your behalf and actually show you the property live through like a video call or recording a video, like actually
Yeah.
doing it then and there, rather than, okay, yeah, these are the photos, this is the deal, this is the contract, just sign it and we can do it. I wouldn't
100%.
recommend
You
that.
definitely need to build rapport and relationship with someone, ideally over there, whether it be a
Definitely,
real estate
definitely.
agent, yeah, or even the management companies that are
That would be
already
a better
managing
option, yeah.
villas.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
So
like
you
then,
didn't you do something with one of these management companies as well? Was it this
yeah,
second villa that was sourced? Was that
with the
through a
first
management
one
company?
actually.
The first one, okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
actually, like I would say a blessing in disguise. Like the management company actually brought me the property rather
Mm-hmm.
than an agent, which is
Mm,
amazing.
mm.
So they said like, okay, this is a unit. We'll handle it. We'll charge you a fixed fee like for the management cost, and then
What's their
whatever
fixed fee, by
you
the way?
fixed fee, I'm paying them monthly about 4 million Indonesian rupiah,
Yeah.
which is pretty standard. Like anywhere ranging from 3 to 5 million is a good deal. I would say,
Mm, mm.
like in terms
Okay,
of
yeah, we need to do the conversion. So, because some people will be like, "What? 4 million? It's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
rupiah, and it's I know it's approximately maybe 400 Australian
I
dollars
think
a
I
month."
think so. I think so. Around about that 400, like
Yeah,
anywhere. I would say anywhere between 350 to 500 Australian dollars would be a good amount
yeah.
for a
Okay.
monthly. Like, of course, it depends on like how much work you want them to do in the property, rather than like because
Yeah, let's talk about. So, what are they doing for you with that management fee that you're paying? What are they actually
so
looking after?
of course we have the housekeeping staff, and we have a villa manager.
Hmm.
But then also, like for example, there were a couple of amenities which weren't there in the villa when
Mm,
I took it up. Like for
hmm.
example, the washing machine wasn't there, or
Mm,
secondly, the baby crib wasn't there.
mm.
So of
And the
course
high
we need
chair
some.
and all that, so you added all that in. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Not the high chair. High chair we have a collaboration with, and then we can rent it on request for the
Mm,
guest.
mhm.
But the baby crib was something I was like pretty adamant on, because it
Yeah.
is a family villa.
Mhm.
Like people coming in with young kids and every
It's a two-bed,
thing.
isn't it?
It's a two-bedroom villa.
Yeah. Because
And
we'll get some
also,
pictures up. We'll show some pictures while you're talking about it as well. Because it's
mhm,
beautifully, set up as well, I will say that,
thank you
which we
so
can
much.
come to. You can talk about that, a
Yeah,
little bit
definitely.
later.
Because
Yeah.
also, like in terms of the crib, like I know, like I've already used it 6 times. Like for
Oh,
six bookings,
wow.
I have already used it, and which is
Yeah.
just 6 months. And
Wow. So
for example, like
you've had
even if
quite a
I'm,
few guests already, which is
yeah,
great. That's what you want. Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, I know, like this is a family villa.
Mm.
This is gonna work,
Mhm.
because like again, like a blessing in disguise. Like while I was there staying in the villa for 10 days, just myself experiencing the villa to see like what the guests will experience, the neighboring villa had a couple who had a 2-year-old baby.
Mm.
And I
Okay.
was like, yep, I have taken the right decision. It is going to work.
Yeah. That's
It is
good.
going to work. So like the management company does that for me as well, like actually setting up the crib and actually removing the crib from the property when it's needed.
Mm.
And
So, question for you then.
yeah,
The bookings, how
yeah.
are the bookings managed? And, because obviously you need to be able to see what's coming in, to work out, what your profit and loss is. When whilst working with this management company, have they got access to, say, your Airbnb calendar or your booking.com calendar, or are they managing everything and then just letting you know when they've got bookings coming in? How does that all work?
No. So
Yeah.
that is actually like I'm only paying them for the management, like management
Mm,
in terms of like the operational management. The
yeah.
marketing management is still in my control,
Hmm. Okay.
because again, I wanted to be a little bit more hands-on, as this was the first unit and this is the first time I'm doing it.
Yeah, and you want to get your
So
head
at
around
least I
absolutely
wanted I
everything.
want to do it for a year myself,
Yeah,
experience all the highs and lows in terms of the seasonality, and seeing
it's
what
good.
kind of questions, like of course the guests will have all kind of questions you will
Mm,
not even have thought of about it. Like for
mm,
example, like I'll give you a small example. So there's a light in front of the second bedroom which is near the pool,
mm-hmm,
and the guest was like, where to turn it on from. I was like, yeah, I know it, so I can answer it.
Mm,
Like, because had I not stayed in the villa, like I wouldn't have known it.
mm,
And then I was like, yeah, I know it. It's very simple. It's just a switch in the room on the side of the
mhm,
bed. Like there
mhm.
are two sides. So one side is for the light in the room, and one side is for the light outside. So I
Yeah.
knew it personally, so I could just answer it then and there to the guest. So
Yeah, that's helpful because you actually stayed in the villa, so and 10 days is long enough to get used to where everything is and
yeah.
be able to understand it and provide that guest experience. That's going to get you those good reviews. So, how have the
Mhm.
reviews been over the
So
past six
far, it
months?
has been fine. It could have
Yeah,
been better, I would
yeah,
say.
yeah,
Better in the sense like it again. I wouldn't put it on myself, like, because the guest checked out late. One of the guests checked out late, and because of
oh,
that, the
okay,
next guest had to
later.
check in a little bit later than it's supposed to be.
Oh no! Did you charge
Then
them extra for staying longer, or did they request a late
I
checkout?
I did. I mean, I contacted Airbnb, and Airbnb helped me through it rather than the
Okay,
guest helping me through it, which
yeah.
is again like a good thing on Airbnb. Like,
Mm,
if the guest don't agree, like there has been an instance of a little bit of a furniture breakage as well by one of the guests. And then, but the funny thing is, like, the guest actually the guest actually left a positive review, which I was very thankful of. And
okay.
then, but the chair was broken, so I'm
Mm.
like,
You needed to
it's a
charge them for
great
that.
guest
Yeah.
with a not so good what I'm seeing in the villa. So I
What
was
you
like,
discovered after was this after the review? After they gave you a great review, then you
no,
discovered
it
that there
was
was a
actually
broken chair.
before. It's
Okay, so they
actually
were
before,
honest.
like,
They told you about it at least.
no, they didn't. My staff did.
Ah, okay.
And I was like, okay, fine. And then again, like the Airbnb or the security deposit which you might collect from the guests, which it will be handy. Like,
And it
it don't
covered the
have to be
cost of
with,
the
yeah,
replacement.
yeah, yeah.
That's good.
I
Yeah.
mean, I had to only take care of, like, I think 10%, 10% of the 10% of the cost of the
Okay.
chair, and the rest
Yeah.
of the 90% was covered by Airbnb.
Okay.
Because
So you're talking some challenges now and like some real insider stories, of what it means to actually host an Airbnb. So have you had any worse stories or like
now this
than
so
that? That's
far,
been your
like,
worst?
touch wood, I don't want to
Unlucky.
experience anything
Yes,
worse.
touch wood. We do not want you to experience anything else that
Yeah, but then again,
yeah.
like, because it's in Bali,
Yeah.
it will have the rainy weather. Like, again, like, going back to the challenges, or a little bit of a thing to be mindful of is,
Yeah.
because it
When
is
it
rainy season, you
rains.
have to be aware of the cleanliness of the villa, or the maintenance, I
Mm,
would say, in a better
mm,
way. Because
mm.
but because of the rain, there might be some dampness in the furniture or something like that.
Okay.
So,
Just
of
because of
course,
the quality of the construction over there is not as high, in comparison
I
to
wouldn't
somewhere.
also say the quality, but also, like, the material, in terms of, like, because when I'm visiting the apartments in the US or
Mm,
Europe,
mm,
there isn't so much wood as we see in Bali. Like, Bali's
mm,
furniture is a lot of wood.
yeah.
Like, like, sometimes even on the wall there will be some wood, just
Mm,
for decoration purposes. Like,
mm,
all of my furniture is wood. Like, there is no plastic, for example, or there's no
yeah.
glass.
So have
It,
you
it's
have you experienced the rain yet and that affecting the villa in any
Yeah,
way?
yeah, yeah,
You have, yeah.
definitely. Because there has been a slight leakage, which again my staff took care of, and I was like, and if anything happens, just let me know. I'll let you know what to do. And then they got back to me like, Arsh, there's a leakage. What do we do?
Mm,
Like, okay, how many days do we need to fix it? They said,
mm.
okay, one day. Then I saw the
This is the
calendar.
management company, right? Because they're still
Yeah,
running that. And so they're also dealing with those types of issues for you, but they're
yeah,
running it
yeah, yeah.
by you, aren't they?
All the maintenance, like, all
Mhm,
all the on ground stuff is handled
mhm,
by the management company.
mhm. That's good. I think that's a reasonable fee. And could you say that, I mean, it's only been 6 months, but how profitable have you been? Have you broken even yet in 6 months or not just yet?
It's I'm still not there with the break
Yeah.
even yet.
Yeah.
I'm
And
still not there
what was the I
because
guess the largest.
I'm taking in consideration like all the rent, operational cost, and the management fee.
Yeah,
If we are including all of that, still we have some way to go.
a way to go, yeah, especially with that
Yeah.
rent up front. What about the furniture and the fit out costs of, all the furniture you've got
So
in there and everything? Was that quite expensive or?
actually, for this one, I went in with a furnished property rather than looking for
Ah,
an unfurnished one
lucky you.
because
I mean that it's good furniture too. You struck a good deal there.
yeah, definitely because like again, as this was my first unit, I wanted the least of the hassles in the beginning, and I wanted
Yeah,
to focus main on the marketing side of it and actually just putting the villa out and welcoming guests. And like
makes
in terms
sense.
of like welcoming guests, what do I need to do? And again, like going back to the softwares and everything, like how to optimize the software, how to optimize the listing, how to
Mm,
optimize everything. And
mm,
then of course like a couple of things which I added from my behalf again, which I mentioned in the beginning is like, for example, the working table wasn't there. I was like, we
mm,
need a working table here, so we need to get it done.
yeah.
And that was a little bit extra on top
Mm,
of what was already there. A washing
mm,
machine, which wasn't there, but we had a spot, so I instantly went in with a washing machine there.
mm. Yeah,
And
all these extras that you were able to pick up on because you weren't caught up in all the other bits and pieces that would be required for a full fit out. So, I mean, that's some great advice for anyone who's thinking of starting out remotely. If you can try and find
yeah,
something that is fully furnished, and then that, as
yeah,
long as the furniture's decent, of course,
yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Because
then you're
also
able to
like
just go with that.
with the second one again, like I'm
Hmm.
doing the same thing.
Hmm.
It is furnished,
Hmm.
but then, for example, the appliances are not there because it is a new villa.
Mm,
So I
okay.
contacted the owner, and then we struck up a deal where he'll provide me the appliances which he can from his end,
Hmm.
and
Okay,
then
that's good.
anything extra which I want to put is will be from my side, which is completely
Mm.
fine by me.
Are you going to go and visit that one? Have you seen that one in person or no? That
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that one?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That
You did.
I mean, I actually, the funny thing is like for example, like I viewed the villa once,
Hmm.
and then I hadn't taken a decision on that for a couple of weeks actually,
Mm. Mm.
because in the meantime I was actually looking at other villas, and then again during that sourcing time I looked at another 20. And then I was like, because I was keeping the area in mind, I was
Yeah.
keeping
Yeah.
the setup in mind, because again with the experience of the first one I was very clear in my head that I want a new one.
Mm.
Like if I
And
don't get a
where's
new
this
one,
one? Was this also in a boot, or did you try a different area?
this is a different area. This is in
Okay.
Siminiak.
Seminyak, yeah.
Yeah. And like again, from the experience with the first one, I was very adamant on this has to be a new unit. It cannot
Mm.
be like, if it has to be old, no older than like 1 year, like maximum
Mm.
1 year, 6 months, 1 year
Mm.
is the maximum
Mm.
limit.
And the reason for that?
The reason for that is purely based on from the maintenance point of view, like because I visited old villas as well,
Hmm.
and I just knew like it would be too much maintenance. Like of course, like I can do the renovation and I can do the maintenance in, but then the constant maintenance of it will be like, I know it'll be a hassle for me doing it remote firstly, and
Yeah.
then also secondly for the villa manager to constantly keep up with it. I was like, I
Mm.
wanted to make it easy for all of
For
us, like
everyone.
for me,
Yeah.
for my villa manager, for my staff, and especially for the owner as well. And
Mm. Are you
then
using the same management company for
no,
this? No.
no,
So is
this
this?
one is more of a freelancer, but then he kind of works in the Siminiak and Changu area. So
Mm.
he already has three villas under his control, and this
Okay.
will potentially be the fourth one. Mine
Yeah.
would be the fourth one under his control.
And how did you find him?
Again, this was brought, like the deal was brought to me by the management rather than me looking for the management, which again
Ah, that's
was lucky
interesting. So
enough
the
for me.
management company that manages the Abood Villa
Hmm.
put another option forward, but then told you there's someone else who manages it.
No,
So
no,
they
no.
don't. How
So
did that
this
work?
is
Yeah.
so the villa manager who will be
Hmm.
managing the villa brought me the Seminyak property.
Oh, sorry. Okay, he brought it to
Yeah, yeah,
you.
yeah.
I
So
thought
so
the management company was involved. I was like, wait, 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 what's going
no,
on
no,
there?
no.
Okay,
So I mean,
yeah,
again, like I'm what I'm trying to say is like the Ubud property was brought in by a management company based in Ubud,
yeah.
and the villa in Seminyak was brought to me by a management company in Seminyak.
Who specializes in that area because that's what you want. They know Seminyak really well. And where else
Yeah,
did
and
you say he's
also
managing?
say that, sorry,
You said he's managing in Seminyak and in
and
another
Canggu
area
area,
and
and Canggu,
Canggu as well.
which
Yeah,
which
okay.
is
Hot
close
tourist,
by, like
yeah,
by
tourist hotspots. Those two
yeah,
areas, aren't they?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But also like in terms of like when you are commuting, like Ubud to Seminyak would be 1.5 hours,
Yeah, it's quite far.
but then Canggu to Seminyak would be half an hour. So if we are collaborating in terms of like if you're looking for staff, they would be more open to working in both Canggu and Seminyak rather than Changu's and Ubud or Seminyak and Ubud. That wouldn't be a
Mm,
combination that they would be very open with. I mean, of
mm.
course, like you can pay them more and then they will agree to it. But also it's because
It's not
very
ideal
time
though, is it?
constraining. No, I mean
Yeah,
it's just time constraining because
yeah,
because I've experienced it myself. Like I lived in Canggu and commuted to Ubud, I don't know, twice a day, and
yeah,
which was 1.5 hour drive each way, and that
yeah,
was 6 hour traveling time in a day already,
yeah, yeah.
with the
That's a lot
traffics
of
in mind
trouble.
and everything.
Yeah. So what's sort of the future plan now for you? Oh, we didn't even get your company name. So what is the name of your business and company so that we can put that up as well so people can see if they want to stay in your villa when they
Yeah,
travel over to
definitely.
Bali?
I mean, my marketing team is working on the Instagram page and the website at the moment.
Yeah.
Uh, we are currently listed on Airbnb and Booking.com at the
Mm-hmm.
moment, and we go by Aura Virus, which means true aura, and which I want to portray in my villas as well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
of course, the natural beauty will come through in the villa, but then they will also experience like what we have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll always be available for my guests,
Yeah.
but also I know like my staff will be available as well. Like if the staff cannot help you in some or the other way, I know I
Mm.
will because I've lived in the villa myself,
Yeah.
and I want my guests to experience the true aura of the villa
Yeah.
and the natural beauty, because like thankfully enough, like both the villas are around the nature rather than
Mm.
like any commercial setting or any marketplaces, which
Mm.
again, like some people's preference is like, oh, we need a villa close to the market. But my idea from the beginning was we want to actually provide a relaxation place for my guest, and
Mm.
that's why we went a little bit out of the way in terms of being around the nature, enjoying that calm, enjoying that relaxation period. Like when you're in the villa or when you're staying with Aura Virus, you don't need to worry about anything.
Mm.
That'll be the first
Beautiful.
thing I would say.
It's great.
Because
It's great to, yeah. I mean, that's hospitality at its finest, which is what this business is all about. It is a hospitality business at the end of the day. And how
yeah,
are you providing, that five-star service to your guests,
yeah,
which is obviously going to ensure that your business is running well and you're going to make a profit, and it's by having all these key values in place, running it like a
yeah,
business, but then also having that personal human touch
yeah,
as well for your guests, which everyone appreciates. So
yeah,
that's good.
definitely,
Yeah, and I
definitely.
like that you've got a villa in Ubud because Ubud is very different for people who haven't been there before. I mean, you've gone there.
Yeah,
We've been there for a holiday as well, and from my understanding, we didn't get to go to Ubud. We stayed in Uluwatu, so again, very different. But
yeah, it is
Ubud
different.
is more forest-like, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
it
whereas
is
Canggu,
forest.
not so much. Yeah.
Canggu, I mean, of course, there are different vibes to different areas. Like
Hmm.
Uluwatu, as you mentioned, is a completely different vibe, and it's
Hmm.
still developing, which is great because a
Hmm.
lot of new villas, like a couple of my friends have a unit in Uluwatu, and there are always like construction news as in terms of like when I'm checking my Facebook feed is like,
Yeah, there's a
oh,
lot
there's a
going
new
on there.
construction in Uluwatu, or there's a villa complex being built around Uluwatu. But
Mm,
then again, like going back to Canggu, Seminyak, and Ubud, they're all completely different. Like all three of them are different.
Mm-hmm.
Canggu and Seminyak. Like Canggu, I would say, is like a surfing hotspot
Mm.
because people go there for, like, of course, being close to the beach, being close to the water. If you enjoy surfing, you will love Canggu. That is
Mm.
first thing. Of course, if you love partying and everything, that'll go well with it as well. And
Mm.
then Seminyak offers something similar, but then on top of that also offers the market, like the actual shops which you want to buy things at, like the locals as well, and of course the branded shops are there as well at the same
Yeah.
time. But then those are similar. But then when we
Mm.
go to Ubud, it's completely
Mm.
different. Like you will
Yeah, I
feel
hear
you
a
will
lot
you
of
will feel the
wellness.
change. You will feel the
Yeah.
change when you're commuting. Like, okay, we are now in Ubud. That's what you will feel like in your head
Yeah, I
because
feel like
the
when I've done my research, I've seen a lot of really nice wellness retreats
yeah.
seem to be located in Ubud as well. So, is the plan? Let's talk about your future plan. Then, to is it to have a few villas all over Bali, or what are you hoping to achieve maybe in the next over the next year?
I would say currently, like making both these units stable and
Mm,
potentially a long-term thing. Of
mm,
course, like if something comes up, then we switch. But
yeah.
then that is not the initial idea. And of course, like grow in the meantime. Like of course, I'm open to any new deals, but then at the same time, I'll do the same kind of research. I'll be there. I'll look at the villa in person. I'll try to make sure because even if the map location is right, sometimes the actual location is not right. Like
Yeah.
when I say that, I mean in terms of like the way to the villa. Like it can be close to the main road, but then when you go to the villa, it's a small street.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the other reasons why I need to be there in person when I'm checking out a new deal. And of
Mm,
course, like if I can, like I would want to have villas all around Bali, like even if it's one each. But then at the same time, like I have to take it step by step because
yeah.
when I was doing my
Especially with the
research, like
upfront rent,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's a big sort of deciding factor on
yeah,
how much you want to grow and how soon you'll be able to as well.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because initially, like when I was doing my research, like I looked at 5 to 6 different areas, not even places, like completely
Mm,
different areas. Like Ubud
mm,
was one,
mm,
Canggu was the second, I was because it was the beginning, so I was targeting the tourist hotspots
mm-hmm.
in the beginning in terms of the research, like Ubud, Canggu, Seminyak, Uluwatu was one, Sanur I heard was one, which could be a good spot, but then I
What's
was
that
like
area again? I didn't
Sanur.
hear that. Sinur.
It's on the east coast of Bali.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard of Bingen and Perenninan and
yeah,
yeah, sort of even up towards people are saying northwest. So like past Seminyak and like sort of more out west. There's like a lot of development going
yeah.
on out
Pereriran,
there
like
too.
when we are
Yeah.
going there, like on that chain on the west line,
Mm,
of course there's Canggu, and then as soon as we get above Canggu is Pereriran, and
mm,
then around that area is like, of course, not around that area. It's like in the same line you will see Pererinan, Sese, Chimagi, which are great in terms of
mm,
like because there are a lot of new developments coming there.
mm. Are
So
you keeping your eyes on those?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, of course, like the connections I've built so far, they have been mentioning like, are you interested in these property? Are you interested in these property?
Mm.
They look beautiful, but it's
Mm. I mean,
just
I've seen some of these new developments and by some of these
yeah,
developers that are over there building multiple villas. They are stunning.
yeah.
So, in terms of like your plan for, are you looking to work with investors, for the capital to be provided if you're someone who's going to be focused on building out this business?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm completely open to the investment. The only thing is like in a positive way. As long as we are on the same wavelength, we're gonna
Mm,
make a great team. Like with
hmm
any of the investors or with any of my colleagues, which I pair up with, because
mm,
again, like when I'm talking of the new developments, that like when there is a new development, there is also loss of nature around the area. So I
Hmm.
want to keep that focus as well when I'm targeting the new villas. For example, like similar to the new ones which I have, or two which I have. Like one is around the nature, one has
Hmm.
a rice field view in front of them. So
Hmm.
keeping that nature aspect in mind, I still would love to extend, like be it Uluwatu, be it Seminyak, like more
Yeah.
in Seminyak, or
Good.
be it in Changu.
Yes,
Because
because
I know, like
this is your
when there is a
vision.
new development,
Yeah.
there is also a lot of loss of nature, which I heard from the agent as well. Like for
Which
example,
is
like an
very
agent story which
unfortunate.
I'll tell you, which is
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
that they were telling me, like, we were on a terrace of a villa, and they were telling me, like, 2 years ago we could see the sea from here, or
Mm.
we could see the ocean from here, or we could see the proper sunset from here.
Mm.
But then because of the new construction, there was none of that view anymore.
Yeah.
So keeping all of that aspects in mind, like of course the villa can be great,
Mm-hmm.
that is perfect, that's the perfect start. But then going around the vibe of, like, what do you actually want to provide your guests with, like
Mm.
in terms of just the relaxation, or if you want them to have like a relaxation luxury property, a new property in Changu is perfect. But then if you
Mm.
want them to actually experience the nature as well, keep a little bit of the nature in mind as well, because I'm not saying there isn't any more nature in Canggu. There is a lot of nature. There is
Mm.
still a lot of nature. But then, because again, from the property point of view, if there are new constructions happening, that diminishes nature slowly and slowly.
Yeah. Is there a way to find out about future developments, before you select something?
I would say just try to keep in touch with the agents
Mm.
at the moment, because I tried looking up for new developments online,
Mm.
because again, like I'm talking here from the remote point of view.
Mm.
um, then you wouldn't be able to see or find anything really. Of course, again, it's a completely different switch when you're actually there.
Yeah.
Then if you're actually traveling around the area, you might come across a new development, you might come
Mm.
across something which is completely out of the blue, like the land is empty, or it's getting ready for a villa construction or something like that. If you're
Yeah.
around the area, then it'll be a little bit more easier to find
Yeah.
with those kind of things. But
Yeah, because
then
you're actually physically there and can see so much more
definitely,
than what you would if you were, yeah, just doing this remotely. But the key to doing something remotely is you've been there, you've built some rapport, you've built relationship with people on the ground there, and then you've got to maintain those relationships and
yeah,
continue to, build that rapport so you can trust that person is going to give you the right information when
yeah,
they're sourcing
definitely,
something for you and ensuring that you're asking all
yeah,
the questions necessary to know exactly where this villa is located, what's the surrounding area like,
yeah,
and they really need to, yeah, be able to provide all that information for you. So,
definitely,
I mean,
definitely.
great start, Ash.
Thank
Honestly,
you so
you're
much.
doing so great. Like considering it's only been 6 months,
Yeah,
and you must be pretty pleased with your progress so far,
yeah,
especially
yeah, yeah. I mean,
with what,
I would say
yeah.
I'm pleased with the progress, but then again,
Mm.
I'm a little bit on the side of, like, it can always be better.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean
So and I
that's the
just
best
try to find
attitude to
ways to,
have,
like,
right?
where I
Yeah.
can take that next step.
Where can you improve? Yeah.
When I'm saying the next step, it's not like actually acquiring a new property. It's like, how can I make something better in the existing one?
Exactly.
Because that's what
Yeah.
I also learned from the business which I have in my family, is like, you have the things ready. You don't need to always go for something new.
That's right.
It's firstly like, you already have one unit, one
Hmm.
active unit.
Hmm.
If you can, how can you make it better? If there is a possibility, of course,
Mm.
there might be no room left for improvement,
Mm.
but there is always there is always room for improvement.
That's
Like,
right.
even if
Yeah.
it's just with the pricing here and there, or even if it's
Mm.
just with the amenities here and there, or
Yeah.
even if it's just with the way the staff is communicating with the guest. Like, of course,
Mm.
they learned about me while I worked with them, and I learned about them
Hmm.
while I'm working with them. So I can now say, or now I know how to, or who to communicate what.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if I communicate it to the on-site staff, these are the kind of responses I will expect. Or
You
if
have a
I,
bit of a better relationship that way too, don't you?
yeah, yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, and then they're the staff or people working for you, they're going to do a much better job because they know you, they're in touch with you,
Yeah,
and I think the difficulty will come when you've got multiple units now and you're going to have to, automate things and then have people
yeah. I
who
mean,
they
I'm
then
actually
report to under
ready for
you.
that step as well, in a
Yeah,
way. Because
yeah.
when I was setting up this unit, I actually made a list of like, if and when I'm like scaling up to, for example, like 5 units, 10 units,
Mm,
like I
mm,
know, like personally I can manage three and not more, for
mm,
example.
mm.
Just random number to throw out there, like I know I can manage three, but if it gets to four, if it gets to five, because also the second thing is like my units are in a different area, it's not in the same area as well, so I have to
Mm-hmm.
keep an eye on this area and this area as well. And sometimes, which I know might come up, is like sometimes a question from Ubud I might answer in a Siminiac way, or a Siminiac question I might answer it in a Ubud way, and which I have to be careful. And that's why I want to be mindful of what kind of challenges will come. And
Mm.
that is why, like, I've already contacted VAs, for example. I've
That's good.
contacted
Good start.
the I've contacted the channel manager companies, like, okay, when I'm doing this, what's the sort of the deals I'm looking at, or what kind
Mm.
of facilities I'll be looking at. So I
Yeah,
already have that document ready. Is like, okay, when it gets to that stage, I don't have to do the research anymore. It's just like I have to plug and play. It's like,
that's it.
okay,
It's SOPs, isn't it? It's whilst you're in the business as well, you're setting up all your, strategic operating systems,
yeah,
programs, so that if
yeah,
you've got someone coming in, it's like this is how we run things step by step. They're
yeah,
able to take that, run with it, and then that's you delegating, and then it's
yeah,
releasing you more to now work on the business, not in the business. Because when you're
yeah, yeah,
working
yeah,
on it, you're able to expand, and be thinking of where you're going to move to next, So yeah, I
definitely.
think you're off to a great start, and
Thank you so much.
the
Thank you.
best is yet to come for you. So
Yeah.
in closing, Ash, what would your advice be to anyone who is watching this and they've been thinking they want to get started in Airbnb or short-term rentals, but maybe they're a bit too scared or they don't know where to start? What advice would you give to those people?
I mean, honestly, there can be a lot of advices, but of
Yeah,
course,
there's a lot.
there are a couple of key ones. Like,
Yeah,
of course, as you mentioned, like people might be scared, and it's okay to be scared, especially with the payment upfront. That would be like, I'll
well,
just
yeah, that's a big one.
that is the first thing which will come to, like, oh no,
Yeah. So
I'm
if
gonna
you're not
part.
ready for that, don't go to Bali. Just consider
No, I
other.
mean, you can, but then
You have to
of course
consider that.
there can be structures which you can work. It's like
Yeah.
not all the owners will want the payment up front. Like some people will be open to, like, I actually looked at a deal which they were open to a 1 year deal, payment monthly, but then at the same time, because we are paying it monthly, then it'll be a little bit more of an expensive deal. Are you ready to take that chance? And that's
Mm.
where your research will come in. Like, you can negotiate a deal in that way possibly, but then you have to be
Keyword
also,
negotiate. That's it. You
yeah,
said
yeah,
the
yeah. I mean,
keyword there.
also
Yeah.
like reading the room in terms of, like, of course, the owner or the landlord will throw out the best price possible which they want to get, but at the
Mm.
same time, will you be able to run it in a way where you can still be able to make profits? Because you can look at the villa, it's like so beautiful, it's looking beautiful for you, but is it beautiful for the guest enough to pay the amount which you're thinking for the nightly rate, for example?
Mm.
Are you thinking in that way? Like, again, from the business point of view, are you thinking it from the business point of view or not? That'll be the
Mm.
key. Because if you're looking at it from the aesthetic point of view, or just from the Bali point of view, don't look at it that way.
Mm.
Think of it as a business, because it is a
Mm.
business.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
if you want to enter into a business and not a hobby, I would say that. Because
Yeah.
of
This
course,
is
like,
not.
people are
It
doing it as a
can.
hobby,
Yeah.
which is completely
It's
fine.
not going to end well.
because
Yeah.
because like they're renting out their extra homes, or they're renting it out temporarily. Like if they're going out for 2 months, they're just listing it for 2 months. But we
Mm,
want to be open for 365 a days,
mm.
365 days a year.
Yeah, it
So
depends on your
think of it
goals,
in that
doesn't it?
way.
Yeah.
Like think of it
Yeah.
as a like a better example, or a comparable example.
Mm,
If you're running it as a hotel, how will you run it? Because you're not going there to stay in a hotel yourself.
hmm
There'll be guests, there'll be staff, there'll be a lot of challenges. I won't say
hmm
issues. I'll say challenges. A lot
hmm
of maintenance things which will come up, which
hmm
is usual, which you usually get in your home as well. It's nothing new. It's just you have to do it from the guest point of view now rather than from your point of view as well. You
mm.
have to keep both of the point of views in mind.
Yeah, it's good. That's really good
Yeah.
advice, considering all angles, especially from a guest point of view and what a guest would actually want in that villa. And
Yeah.
yeah, thinking about all these other small things too that make
Yeah.
or break your business. So that's why it's
You can.
important to
Yeah.
do your due diligence, do your research, and
Hmm.
also take your time. You don't need to rush into things
Yes.
either. Like I like that
Yes.
you did the course. You started July last year and you
Hmm.
took your time with it to understand. You did a lot of viewings, a lot of research, and it looks like you're off to a great start. And like I said, I think yeah, it's just going to get better for you from here because you're building the foundation for the business
Yeah.
to really be
Yeah.
built upon and build it well because you're
Yeah.
considering
Definitely.
absolutely everything. So thank you so much, Ash. I really
Thank you so
appreciate you
much.
coming on and letting you sharing your story and allowing me to ask some a few tough questions there. But I think you're doing great. And
Thank you so much. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you
all the
so much for
best.
having me.
And yeah, obviously we'll keep in touch. And I'm
Definitely.
I'm always excited to jump in. What's that group we've got on Slack? Weekly Wins, the community weekly
Yes.
wins. It's
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love jumping in there and seeing everyone's progress and how well
Hmm.
everyone is doing. And
Yeah.
there's a few of you who are doing villas in Bali. So there's
Yeah.
Marin.
Yeah.
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 Who else is Rosa?
There's
And
Rosa. There's
yeah, there's
Stefania.
little community of
A
the
little bit.
Bali
Yeah.
Bali
Already.
investors there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the Bali
There's
hosts
one
and
more. I
investors.
think
Mm.
Claire is one of them as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Um,
great.
yeah. So I know 3 4 people like from the GPWN community operating
Yeah,
there at the moment.
yeah. And how helpful do you find that in terms of like, do you guys have a call where it's just? I imagine it is like there's all like everyone is doing Bali. Do you have that community yet where you guys are sharing ideas
Yeah,
because you're
yeah, yeah. I
obviously all
mean,
in the
I
same
mean, I
area?
always keep
Yeah.
in I always keep in touch with all of them actually, just to
Mm.
like, of course, there will be questions from my end as well, but also like
Mm.
if they have any questions, or if they are just to check in and see like how they are doing with their units and everything.
Mm. Mm.
And
That's good.
because I know, like for example, I recently contacted Stefania, and she's in process of preparing a unit at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
With
Is
again,
she
again,
new? Is she just getting started?
no, no. Like in terms of the
I
course,
need
I
to
don't
find out
know.
who
But in
she is.
terms of the
Yeah.
Airbnb business, she has been active for a little bit.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna have to look her
yeah,
up and get her on the show as well.
yeah, definitely, definitely. And Rosa, of course, like like while I was in Bali, we also caught up,
Oh,
um,
great.
and then
Yeah.
we had a chat about the business.
I'm
Just like,
interviewing her. I'm interviewing her soon. So
oh, nice, nice.
yeah,
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 actually, she actually told me
yeah,
uh, about it, and like she's really looking forward to it as well.
yeah. That's gonna be
Yeah.
great. All
And
right. Well,
actually,
I'm gonna let
the
you go
funny thing
because you're
is,
a
like,
busy
her
man.
unit is in Uluwatu. Her unit is in
Yeah.
Uluwatu, which you mentioned.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. I always look forward to these interviews because it's so great to get to know, all the students in our community, and it's been especially nice to get to know you a bit more, Ash. And yeah, so
definitely. Thank
proud
you
of
so
you.
much.
And yeah, this you've got so much ahead of you, and I can't wait to see what you achieve and accomplish. So, thanks again for jumping on.
Yeah.
And thank you to those who have been watching this episode today. I hope this has brought loads of value. As always, we really hope that that is the case for anyone who's thinking about getting started in Airbnb or short-term rentals. And again, thank you so much, Ash. It's been such a privilege to have you on.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. And guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with anyone you know who is interested in all things short term rentals. Thank you for watching.